Hi, everyone. Good morning. If you're filling in the back, come up and sit closer. There's plenty of seats in the front. We're going to get started in just a minute here. I think this is about everyone for now. So, okay, we're going to get started. Welcome.
When we look at the world around us, we typically measure it in inches and centimeters, or miles and kilometers. But in the field of nanotechnology, we work in nanometers. That's 1/1000th of a meter. If you take a dime and slice it on edge 1,000 times, take one of those pieces and slice it another 1,000 times, you now have one piece that's 1 nanometer thick. When you start looking at the world on a nano level, everything changes. At the IIN, we're not just imagining the future, we're building it 1 nanometer at a time. The IIN is the International Institute for Nanotechnology and is one of the largest, if not the largest, nanotech operation in the world that focuses on the pure aspects of nanoscience and technology.
Nanomaterials are really the building blocks of our world. Atoms and molecules assemble to form nanostructures, which ultimately make up the properties of the materials that we live with and that we work with.
Whether it's in clean energy, the development of medicines, the development of materials for food and water safety, the way we create major solutions to some of the biggest problems in the world is through nanotechnology. The problems that we're going after, they're too big to go after alone. They require lots of different folks coming together from different disciplines. That's what the IIN does and does really well.
The opportunities to collaborate within the IIN is really the secret sauce. The science at IIN is like none other in the world. But what makes the IIN stand out is this amazing network of scientists and forward thinkers.
We're looking for people that define thought. The IIN's become a major hub of discoveries and inventions that are impacting people all over the world.
The IIN is one of the world's globally leading institutes in energy and sustainability. Researchers at IIN have developed the capability to produce what are known as mega libraries. These are millions of candidate materials that can be efficiently screened for sustainability and energy applications.
I work in a class of materials called metal organic framework. Another way of thinking about these materials as smart programmable sponges, we have the ability now to put our MOFs on the textile of uniforms to capture toxic chemicals and detoxify them instantaneously.
What we're seeing as a whole with nanotechnology and medicine is that nanotechnologies are really on the cutting edge of advancing care for our patients.
Spherical nucleic acids are kind of a hallmark invention of the IIN. Normal DNA will not enter cells freely. Spherical nucleic acids do. That allows you to move large therapeutic payloads into cells that allow you to treat a lot of very debilitating diseases.
IIN is working on a very exciting field of rational vaccinology.
The concept behind rational vaccinology is that you can take nanostructures and begin to put those components in different forms, and there will be a form that will give you much greater efficacy than all others.
In cancer therapies, it allows for us to develop a vaccine against a patient's cancer that's specifically targeted for that patient.
That is going to be a really, really powerful avenue of drug development, and one that I think is going to change medicine forever.
So you've got a structurally well-defined lead compound, and we can then systematically look at structure-function relationships.
It's on the way.
We have to make sure that we're not only doing cutting-edge research, but that we're beginning to train new generations of people that are going to have the skill set required to do this at the highest level and the passion to do this at our level.
I'm investigating developing a protein-based cancer vaccine. Being at the IIN, this is really the hub of where nanotechnology is. We have access to so many great faculty that are leaders in their own field. We're encouraged to come up with these new ideas that can really have a paradigm shift.
As scientists, being at the edge of science is what makes you get up every morning.
The future of the IIN is really quite bright. Everybody at the IIN is driven by the idea that nanoscience can make the world better.
It's that level of ambition, of wanting to make an impact which is made IIN such a great research institute. IIN exemplifies the very best of Northwestern University.
We've created something that really is the envy of the world. We knew it was going to be big. We just didn't know it was going to be this big.
Okay, great. First of all, I want to welcome everybody here. I think this is our 22nd symposium, and it's really exciting to be back in Orrington in this great venue and have this great crowd here. It's been drawing people for quite some time. I think people have a real strong interest in this particular field and share, I think, some of our enthusiasm for all the things that it can ultimately do. We've got a really exciting agenda today and program. I'm going to spend just a couple minutes acknowledging some of the folks that have really made this possible. So one of the great things about the symposium, as you guys all know, is we've been able to do it for 22 years and it's been free. That doesn't come easily. It comes in large part because of generosity from sponsors, but also some serious donors. And I just want to acknowledge Rosemary Schnell. The symposium is now named after her, among other things as well. She came to one of these 22 years ago, and really got excited about the field. She wasn't a scientist, she was a teacher, really sweet person, really nice person, and really was enamored with everything that we were doing, and began to establish a relationship with us, and then made an incredibly generous gift when she passed away, which was basically half of her estate, given to really promote nanoscience and technology, and we use that to do these events, but also to sponsor a lot of things that facilitate the research here at Northwestern. Similarly, we have people like David Kabiller, who of course set up the Kabiller Prize, which many of you guys have heard about. We're not in a Kabiller Prize year, we do that every other year. It's the largest award in nanomedicine, $250,000. That'll be announced about a year from now, which is really exciting. Ron and Joanne Willens, they started a Nano-Oncology Institute. Again, very similar type of thing. These types of outreach activities led to them getting very interested in what we're doing with respect to nanotech and the development of things like cancer vaccines like you saw. And so they sponsor quite a bit of research going on at Northwestern. Ray Nimrod is actually of the CRISPR fame in terms of litigation. He was on the Broad side, got to know him through this event and other types of things. He's now taken a strong interest. More recently, Tim Sullivan and Pat and Shirley Ryan, but also Ed Bacharach. Ed Bacharach, again, came to us, found us through these types of events and said, hey, I want to do something. I'd like to really help move research along, especially in the medical space. And now he's been very actively promoting a variety of projects on campus as well. David Weinberg, and then also Lynn Hopton Davis and Greg Davis have been great sponsors as well and have established professorships that are allowing us to do some of the work that you heard about. I don't want to stand up here and talk for too much longer. I want to pass things off to my associate director, Sarah Petrosco, who's going to tell you a little bit about some of the progress made over the last few years. You know, we haven't been in person many times, in part because of COVID, but we're back and we're back strong, and she's going to tell you what we've been doing. Sarah?
So thank you, Chad, and again, just let me reiterate, welcome everyone. Okay. Green button. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to get started. So let me just continue all the thanks. I just wanted to recognize a couple more supporters that are here today. We have not one, but two local mayors that should be in attendance. So Daniel Biss, the mayor of Evanston, and then George Van Dusen, the mayor of Skokie. And we also have another very important person to the IIN here today, Mike Kleppinger. He's sitting over there with his son. So Mike has been the brains behind All Scout Nano Day and has really helped us execute that event for over 20 years. And his son, I believe, is one of the first people to go through the program, and now he's an engineer, so it's a big success story. So continuing to thank our sponsors, first I want to thank Abbott for their partnership this year, but also their continued partnership over the last more than a decade. Phil Himkin is here today, Felicia Bogdan, and the rest of their team, and we're looking forward to working with them for many years to come. Our other sponsors are Amatec, Fernando Castro. He will be back at one of the tables in the back later today, so go by and say hi. Also, Robert Passery from Hitachi is here today, and we'd like to thank him for supporting this event and keeping it free to the community. From JLL, we have Max Zawalin and Scott Brandwine here today. They are also been multi-year supporters of the IIN in this event, so thank you. Brandon Brandt from JEOL, as well as Jason Bassey, who also has a very nice table in the back, so go say hi to him. Thank you for your support. And then also American Elements. So now that I've thanked everyone, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what the IIN has been doing in the last year or so. And the first thing I want to just mention is that we're always trying to bring new people into our enterprise, and that includes affiliated faculty at Northwestern. And so this year we reached out to a lot of the new assistant professors that just started and trying to draw them in and engage them with what we're doing. And so that resulted in 8 new affiliated faculty. And these 8 new affiliated faculty join the over 220 that are across all 4 schools at Northwestern, as well as 35 departments. So the IIN we administer postdoc fellowship programs. They recognize some of the most talented postdocs in the field of nanoscience, and we welcomed 8 more of those into our group this year. So some of those are affiliated with our centers. They're doing things like working with cancer nano-oncology, like Chad mentioned. They're doing things like working in our Center for Nanocombinatorics. And we really see these as some of the future leaders in the field of nanoscience. In order to support them, we've also this year started the IIN Future Faculty Program. And this program is designed to help these postdocs, as well as others within the IIN, to be more prepared for the faculty job search and then hopefully land those positions and kind of offer help as they launch their independent careers. In terms of the Ryan Fellows Program, the IIN, along with the Graduate School at Northwestern, administers this program for graduate students. It was made possible through the generosity of Pat and Shirley Ryan. And this year we've got 33 either incoming or current fellows that have been recognized. Many of them are probably in the audience. And so we are looking forward to engaging with them throughout the year. This group does dinners, they do team building events, and again, creating this cohort of nanoscientists that we hope are gonna be, the next generation of leaders. We've also worked this year to get more engagement with our undergrads. We were thinking about it and we were like, the undergrads at Northwestern are underserved by us, and we want to figure out ways to really prepare them also for grad school, for postdocs, and then ultimately future careers in science. And so we started this program in partnership with the Department of Chemistry and also through support from Materials Science and Engineering. It offers both classroom, summer research, and summer research opportunities in their very first year at Northwestern. And we've had quite a bit of success in the pilot year. We had 15 students starting out in the classroom, and then of those 15, 9 actually went on to do summer research in their summer after their freshman year, just this past summer. So new elements this year, we've partnered with the Arch Scholars Program, which is actually a program that involves first-gen and underrepresented minority students at Northwestern. So our entire cohort this year is pulled from those people that are typically underrepresented and gives them an opportunity for potentially 4 full years of research. And we're also partnering with the Office of Undergraduate Research to support people beyond their first year in the program with academic year fellowships. Really excited about this one, to mention Nanoscape. This is a new initiative. We started our own podcast. This is really spearheaded by Associate Director of Marketing and Communications, Seth Zimmerman. He's working along with Aaron Spain, who's a professional science communicator and professional podcaster. The purpose of the podcast is really to do interviews, to have conversations with people, with faculty at Northwestern. And so we've got 3 episodes that are out. One just came out on Monday. We have a couple more planned, and then we hope to continue this so that you can hear in conversation, really, from some of the top nanoscientists in the world about their science, their scientific philosophy, their career trajectory, and kind of where they think the field is going. And then finally, I just wanted to say that, as Chad mentioned, David Kabiller generously donated money to make the Kabiller Prize possible. That cycle starts soon. The portal opens January 3rd and closes March 1st. Get your nominations ready. Those people will be presenting this time next year at our annual symposium, fall of 2025. And then without further delay, we're going to get started with our program. Our speakers here today are Nader Ngeta, Ting Zhu, Zhenwu Qian, Kader Lorenzen, and Hung-Kun Park. Okay, so just to give you kind of a roadmap of where we're going, Professor Lorenzen's going to start us off. Then Zhenwu Qian and Ting Zhu are going to finish up the morning before lunch. And then after lunch, Professor Ngeta and Professor Park are going to speak. And then at the very end of the day, we're kind of doing something a little different. We're going to have all of our speakers back up for a panel, just discussing with all of you the future of nanoscience. And that's actually going to be moderated by Ted Sargent. So make sure you stick around for that panel all the way to the end of the day, and especially the reception after. Okay, so welcome.
Okay, great. She forgot to really acknowledge, I think, the most important people, which is the IIN staff and herself, because this whole thing really runs beautifully. By the whole thing, I mean the Institute, because of a really dedicated staff and of course, the symposium as well. And so let's give them a big hand as well. Okay, so